not download it or sign up for it, it tells you like it might have some older games with some modified multiplayer aspects to it. So games that didn't have multiplayer may now have multiplayer, and not necessarily multiplayer like split screen like back in the day. They might have like online multiplayer for games that you never had in the past. So I thought that's cool. Another question: Did you guys ever play the most recent, which was maybe like a year ago or 2 years ago, Star Fox game for Wii U?
I never did. No.
Did you play it?
I didn't. Huh?
I heard it was like okay. I never played
Wasn't
it.
it was something weird where like the cockpit was on the gamepad and something else was on the TV?
You could either look at the cockpit on your gamepad or you could look at your screen. And I remember there's still the tank, the submarine, and the R-wing. They also had like a little ostrich thing, and then they also had like a spy thing, like a stealth mission. And I heard those were super boring and not very hard, but they were slow and boring. I can't believe they haven't had a StarCraft game since StarCraft 64 that just knocked it out of the park.
Star Fox.
I keep saying StarCraft.
Well,
Sorry.
I wonder why. So,
I played that for years.
So, I mean, I would say honestly, having the Switch now makes me really hate the Wii U. I hate the Wii U. I can say it now.
Yeah.
I liked the Wii U because of the games.
Why did I get that?
I don't know why I got the Wii U.
I got it
feel
because-
bad
It was
about
fun
it.
at the time, though. There were lots of good games for it.
Exactly.
It just nobody
for
else
sure.
bought
There
it.
was.
Mario Kart 8, totally worth the price of admission.
Right.
Was that on Wii U?
Wii U, yeah.
I was thinking Wii. I
Yeah.
never got a Wii U.
The Wii U, but like in comparison, like just the build quality on the Switch, like the way it feels in your hand is so much better. Like
Right.
it feels like a play school toy, the Wii U did. And like having this like feels like it deserves a spot in your bag, like right next to your iPad.
But do you treat
like
the
it just feels good.
Do you think the Wii U really? I kind of think of the Wii and Wii U as they're kind of like it's like the Wii U and its older kind of better brother Wii U. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like he kind of went to Harvard.
And got a new controller and came back. You know what I mean?
Oh,
that
okay,
was
you
kind
just
of
gotta-
all it did.
broke down that analogy real quick.
You know what I mean? That's all it did, and it got. I
Yeah.
do like that controller. I think it's a pretty cool controller. I think they didn't really get. Like, I think they could have really did a lot more with it.
Yeah, and there's only a few games that you could actually like play on the gamepad only. Like it wasn't every game that you could play on the gamepad only. I'm pretty sure it was just a few of them.
But
so.
I
Right.
felt like there was like they're like, oh man, you could play Madden with that game, and you can pick your plays on the screen or on your handheld, so they don't see it on the screen. But you're only allowed to have one.
Yeah,
And I was like, that
Yep.
defeats the whole purpose.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And you're like, wow,
I
that's
agree.
really cool. Oh, wait, you can only have one? Okay, so that whole idea is gone.
Imagine that, by the way. Again, Madden. If you just played Madden in handheld mode and you're just playing against a buddy who brought his Switch over and you're just like on a local link play and you're picking your play on your Switch and he's picking his play on his Switch, it's like having all the benefits of online play but still capturing couch co-op. That's where
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch has the opportunity, is to capture all the advantages of online multiplayer but still be able to make couch co-op and couch play accessible.
Yeah, but you just got to hope they do it because I think they
think they
struck
will.
out with Wii U. I thought they could have done
Yeah.
it with the Wii U, and they didn't.
They could have done a little better with the Wii U,
Yeah.
I think. But I still think that's Nintendo's strong suit in that they do that couch kind of multiplayer. Like, you can still go over with your friends, hang out, play a game. You don't have to be sitting in separate houses.
The
on
other
your separate
systems have totally abandoned that. The only
Yep.
thing on other systems that still accept that are sports games. I think that's it, really.
I still think one of the best party games I've ever played on Wii U was on Wii U, and that was Mario Chase. What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Mario
that was a great
Chase,
game.
the Ghost game.
I
Nintendo
do miss those games.
Nintendo Land was
Yep.
so fun. I never owned one, but I played it at your house all the time. And
Nintendo
it was
Land
so
was great.
fun.
Yeah, Nintendo Land was great.
And that was literally like the tech demo, too. That was packed in with every single system. Nintendo, or was it?
Why? You're right. But why wasn't Nintendo's Switch or 1-2 Switch packed into the system?
That's a
I
good
think
question.
that is an absolute. Like, come on, Nintendo. Like, that is messed up. That game should not be bought. I bought it separately. It was like a deal on Amazon for $35 or something like that. But I still should not have to pay for that game. It is just a glorified tech demo. Now, it's a really fun tech demo, but it gets old pretty quick.
But what other console does that?
Right.
No, not a console or even Steam. You can buy indie games for free, but that's the studio making that choice, not Steam. and Microsoft and PlayStation, they're not saying. Now they offer big games that are really old for free, but they're not saying here's a launch title and you also get all of our classic games for free right now.
Yeah.
Nobody else does that. Now, if they did that, it's pretty cool. But I don't know if we can judge Nintendo for not doing that because, nobody else is doing it. Maybe $35. I think is pretty expensive for what you got.
Yeah.
Well, the retail price on that is like $50 too. Brogan got on sale.
Oh yeah, that stinks.
It's $49.99 retail price, and then it was like with an Amazon Prime membership, it was $12 off, and then they had like an extra $5 off coupon or something like that to go with it. So, I think that's way too steep.
Are there even 50 games on there?
There's there's a lot. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but like 28 or something. Way more than you think. Like you've only seen in ads like maybe 10 of them. There's a lot.
We only played 5 of them that we really enjoyed. The other ones, were fine, but we only came back to
I don't
5.
think I ever even played the other ones in Nintendo Land. I just played those like 3, maybe even.
Yeah, the Nintendo. Oh my god.
Do you think Switch has opened the door for future consoles to consider a hybrid approach? Like, do you think Xbox would ever get into the mobile game, and do you think PlayStation would ever try to relaunch like a PS Vita or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't see why would they need to. PlayStation is doing fine the way it is. Microsoft is doing fine the way it is. Virtual reality, I think, is they see as the next step, and that's what they'd rather capitalize. And Nintendo has always dominated handhelds with the DS, the Game Boy,
All the way back to Game Boy, yeah.
Yeah, and so they've always dominated the handhelds, but they don't really care that they do, I don't think.
Right.
Because they gravitate towards 15-year-olds and older for the most part who want to play consoles and those type of games. I don't think they care about those handhelds. They're like, hey, if you want to get a handheld, get a Game Boy or a DS or a Switch. But if you want to play some real games, this is in their mind, then get an actual PlayStation or an Xbox, because eventually we're probably going to get some kind of virtual reality.
Right. We'll deliver you the best graphics, etc. if you buy the console.
I don't think they care, and they're not intimidated by Nintendo. While they probably respect this, I don't think they're intimidated by the Switch at all. I'm not saying that they're shitting on it, but I don't think they're intimidated by them at all.
Yeah, the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, actually just recently said, I can't wait to go play Zelda. He's like, anytime Nintendo makes a good system, it's good for everybody. I think that's
respectable.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, he respects what they've done. He doesn't shit on them, like their history and everything. Like, I know we're probably, like Sony and Microsoft are dominating the industry now, but we're not forgetting our elders kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, Nintendo started it all, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not all of it.
That's well said. So, all this talk about different consoles brings us to today's game, you guys. We are not going to be playing scenarios this week, and instead, since we have a guest on the show this week in Buddy, who, by the way, a little bit of trivia, was on The Price is Right. Is this correct?
How
Buddy?
much did you miss that car by?
Wyatt?
How many dollars?
That's
a true story, guys.
Let's dig into this. So Buddy this is a true story, guys. Buddy was on The Price is Right.
What number episode?
I don't know the number episode, but it was the episode that aired November 15th, 2013.
There you go. And Buddy, how did you do on The Price is Right?
So I got up on stage and won a karaoke machine, and doing that.
How awesome is that karaoke machine?
It's great.
Is it still in the box?
It's not in the box. It's
It
been out
was
of the box
last year.
for about a year. But it serves as a good stereo system. Even though you guys don't come over and sing karaoke, it's a good stereo. Got
You
some
don't
surround-
invite
Don't
us.
tell me you don't sing karaoke by yourself. Just like picture Buddy
You
like
know
in his living room. I can't stop this feeling anymore.
Every night before I go to bed, it's like, hit me baby one more time on the karaoke. Exactly. But, so anyway, like I got up on stage, won the karaoke machine, played Lucky 7, which is the worst Price is Right
literally
game.
the worst
I don't even
game.
think I know which one is that.
It's a luck-based game. You get $7. You have to guess each digit and the price of the car in order. And for each number you're off and guessing each digit, you have to pay Drew now $1.
And the car costs how much? $1.
$1 at the end. So
to
you have
pay
to
$1.
You can basically be off 6 numbers guessing the whole price of the
Yeah.
car.
And what was the car that you had up for bids?
It was a Hyundai Elantra with rear cargo net and some other add-ons.
Yeah, whatever. I don't remember it specifically.
I don't really know. I didn't really want it, but it was amazing.
Cargo net
And in
Ford
case any
navigation.
of our listeners are ever on The Price is Right, that car is $18,976, which I unfortunately didn't know at the time because I lost.
How many digits? I mean, how many numbers did you get to before you lost?
Well, they give you the 1, and then I got the 8 right on. But for the 9, I guessed a 4. So that was already $5 down the hole.
You had $2
then,
left.
Yeah, I was off for the 4th number.
Do you even remember being on stage, or is it like a blur?
You know, it's like all a blur. I forgot how to smile. My mouth was just hanging open in shock the entire time. It was the best day of my life, even though I lost. Like, it was amazing.
Did you hug Drew Carey?
I didn't hug Drew Carey. But
What did he smell like?
I don't remember.
Very different questions here.
Can you get him on the show?
Can I get? You know, he's got Ohio connections, so he might remember
He's
me.
from Ohio, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from.
Rocks.
I wore a big shirt with like a big Ohio on the front of it, you know, trying to get attention.
Did he mention Ohio at all? When
Oh yeah, he knew. Like I told him I was from, you know, such and such high school, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you know, I know that city and stuff."
Did he
give a shout out?
say anything that wasn't aired, like between things or anything?
Not really. They aired pretty much all of it. It all goes very quick. And during the commercial break, sometimes he kind of hangs out and talks to the audience, and sometimes he kind of goes back, maybe gets like a drink or something, you know.
But he didn't
whiskey.
as
Like
music
water.
was playing, like when they were showing the car and stuff, he didn't like lean over to you and say like touch your butt or something.
No, I was too busy
What?
jumping around. What? I was too busy jumping around because it was a car. Like I wasn't. If he touched my butt, I didn't notice. I was too excited about the car.
He's a real ninja.
He's really
butt touching.
He's very talented.
Hold on to your butts. I think we got a
Hold
good
on to
shot
your-
at getting him on the
that's
show.
I'm not a big fan of him as the Price is Right host. Not because I grew up with
It's Bob.
with Bob Barker, but
Price is
he's a
Wrong,
very
Bob.
talented stand-up comedian, and whose line was an amazing show, despite the fact that Brogan abides by those rules, and I'm losing the contest of scenarios because of it. But
Shout out to Drew Carey.
shout out to little. If you want to be our sponsor, Drew Carey, please
Look us
get
up.
a hold of us at.
Quick plug, by the way, we actually have an email address now, gang. And so
Whoa.
if you have questions or suggestions
Or wanna
for
send us
scenarios, or you send us nudes, you can reach out to us at geeks, that's GEEKS, at HOTYB, that's hold on to your butts, HOTYB.com. Geeks at HOTYB.co. Actually, sorry, hold on. Shit. Hold on. Everyone, just erase all of that. This is the first time we're doing it. We're just shaking off the cobwebs.
Co.
HOTYB.co. That is geeks at HOTYB.co. You can send us suggestions for scenarios, questions that we can read here live on
If
the
you want to
show.
send us some suggestions for scenarios, that'd be really cool. Those are actually pretty difficult to come up with, or at least so I'm told. I don't have to come up with any of them. Brogan
dude.
tells me all the time, like, I'm struggling to come up with today's, and I'm like, well, that's not my fucking problem.
I'm kind of disappointed we aren't playing scenarios, just because not only I want to be on the leaderboard, but I just want to steal a point away from Wyatt
Doesn't
just
matter.
to make him
You
angry
can
again.
That
take
is
one.
true. With a win today, you could potentially. Okay, this will count. The
It'll
winner
count?
here will count. As
Wait,
a
so
point
you're
towards
saying if
scenarios.
I win, I get a point and Blev just gets nothing, even though he's not here?
Well, he's not here.
That's true. He's not here.
He does have.
Shout out to Blev with the flu.
Yeah, he's got the
Hope you're
flu,
feeling
guys.
all right,
Oh, no.
buddy.
He's literally holding on to his butt right now.
Oh, okay. So yes, this will count towards our overall points, and since I make up the rules, I'm just going to say that all points won in this round of the show, whether it be scenarios or any other type of game, counts towards winning that golden Xbox, the Duke.
So
Control.
you're hypothetically,
If Buddy only comes on every once in a while, but just wins every time,
That's
then
the plan.
or
That's
for the
plan.
remainder of the year, you're like both of your answers suck. Neither of you get a point. He could technically still win.
this is true.
I want that controller trophy.
So today's
That he has
game,
not made yet.
That may or may not exist. It may or may not ever exist.
today's game, it will exist, you assholes. All right, it's on the air. I have to do it now. We have some listeners. Thank you if you're listening. Today's game is The Price is Right, and we are going to be talking about console launch prices. Console launch prices, and this is adjusting for inflation. So I will give a console that has a launch price associated with it. Each of you will give me what you think the price of that console was at launch. And this is adjusted
stand up.
This is adjusted for inflation.
What are you doing?
He's standing up.
He's like pulling down his shirt. He's ready.
No. I'm
fixing
my shirt.
Again, to recap, this is a console launch price game. You will tell me what you think that console cost at launch. It's been adjusted for inflation. The list I found is adjusted for inflation to 2016, so it's pretty recent.
Okay.
And the person who's closest to it without going over will win. Now, we're going to go kind of rapid fire here. There are actually 17 that I have on this list. Whoever wins more of these will win the point this year. You guys are kind of on the honor system here for counting. I don't know how I'm going to keep track. So hold up a finger when you actually. I know for our listening audience, you can't see that.
I only have 10 fingers, so I'm going to have to use one hand twice.
Wow.
2 hands twice.
Shots
So there's 17.
fired.
I'm going to use